Hello, my name's Dr. Joe Lokovich, and I want to thank you for your interest in failure free reading. Failure free reading is based on 5 steps to reading success: diagnose, instruct, reinforce, demonstrate, and document. Now, the procedure is extremely fast acting. You're going to see results almost from the very first lesson on, and it's extremely easy to use. So don't panic, it's common sense. This is not rocket science. There are 3 different levels that are available to you in Failure Free. There are those that teach the most common words, those that teach tier 2 words, and then those that teach rare words or life skills. Everything starts with Failure Free Readings Joseph's Readers, elementary grades 1 through 5. We teach over 2,605 unique academic words, over 5,304 English sentences, and there are over 6,000 academic English reading practice activities. Then we go to Verbal Master. Now, Verbal Master is designed for students in middle to high school, no dancing bears and bunny rabbits, very age appropriate. And we're going to teach words found in grade 6, 8, 10, and SAT, ACT level material. Life Skills is specifically for students who have pronounced academic English reading ability. Many of them have IQs as low as 45 and higher. So it's designed to teach specific skills that they'll need as they make that school to adult transition. Everything starts with logging in. You will get your email password. Your email will allow you to log in right here, and then you type in password. Then you'll click enter. Very, very easy to do. You'll see the Teacher Tools box. Now, the Teacher Tools box will allow you to do a variety of different things. Class View will show you the students that you've enrolled. Build Report will give you the data to document the growth that the students have done. As you use the program, you'll be able to move students from active to inactive, not in this particular situation, but down the road. The electronic library gives you immediate access to be able to download all of our print material. Very easy, very intuitive, very common sense. Everything starts again with enrollment. First name, last name, gender, grade. Please put a grade in there. There is an option for you to put other, but then it gets confusing because you don't know how far behind the students are. The grade gives you a way to measure where the students are. Now, I know some of your kids are in special needs, and that's why you want to do other. But if you could just put what their chronological age grade level would be equivalent to, that would be great. Class View, as I said, will automatically tell you where the student is in the particular program after you enroll them. Everything starts with the diagnostic prescriptive. So in this particular case, our free trial student is ready to go into our diagnostic prescriptive. Then you would click Launch Lesson. Launch Lesson then takes you to the diagnostic assessment. Now, the diagnostic assessment has 11 entry points, and what we're going to measure is your student's current academic English reading frustration level. What is their ceiling, so to speak, at this moment in time, ranging from beginning first grade all the way up to SAT, ACT level material. Now, so our red level is beginning first grade, our green level is ending first grade, beginning second. Orange A is solid second grade, orange B is solid third grade, teal A is beginning fourth, teal B is ending fourth, teal C is fifth grade, then we have 6th, 8th, 10th, SAT, ACT level material. The diagnostic has a Start Lesson button, so you'll ask the student to push or click the Start Lesson. Now, you will have the option to use one of 2 versions. We have our new HTML5 version, which runs on mobile devices and iPads and tablets, or if you have an older computer, you can use our Flash-based version. Either one will work. Now, in starting the diagnostic, as I said, you will click the Start Lesson button, and you also have an option then to select the oral language. Now, Failure Free is always going to measure their academic English reading ability, but it will give you the option of hearing the directions in either English or Spanish. So it's perfect for many students who have just arrived here and you want to know what their true English reading ability is, but you give them the comfort and security of hearing the directions in their native language. It's a modified closed technique. It's a series of increasing complexity. We start from beginning first grade, and the program will automatically continue to go until it finds um, frustration level. And it could go as high as SAT, ACT level material. Very quick, very easy to use, but it automatically, as I said, increases in complexity. When done, the program will stop and will give you an accurate assessment of their current academic English reading frustration level. Now, that's important in Failure Free because one of the unique features of Failure Free is we're actually going to start at that level. We're going to start them at a point where they say, this is too hard, I can't do it. And the reason why we're doing that is because we want to show these kids, who are in most cases their own worst critic, the fact that they can do faster, they can do higher, and they can do more when you set the conditions within their instructional environment that allow them to be successful. That is the reason why we set them at their frustration level. We don't want them to be bored, and we do want to give them a huge, huge boost in confidence. Now, the program will automatically give a suggested student story placement, and that will go back to the class view. There are 27 stories in the failure-free elementary level, ranging from the beginning red story all the way up to teal. And then there are an additional 24 stories in the Verbal Master material that goes 6th, 8th, 10th ACT level material. The program will automatically put you at what we believe is the suggested student placement for a story. So once you find that, you can then go, as I said, back into that class view. The class view will tell you, in this case it says free trial is tested in Joseph's Readers Orange Level Story 1 Going on a Park, and it puts them in the first lesson. Then, once you know the first lesson, you will then go to the electronic library to get all of the instructional material necessary to teach that first story. Now, you access that from your Teacher Tools section. So you would go here, Teacher Tools, you would click on Electronic Library, then you have 5 choices: Joseph's Readers Print, Verbal Master Print, Life Skills Print, Reading Attitude Survey, and our secondary library. In this particular segment, you're either going to use Joseph's Readers or Verbal Master. So in this case, you'll go with Joseph's Readers, which is the elementary level material. Then you'll see, and this is a snapshot or a segment of all of the different stories that are available to you: red, green, orange, teal. Everything starts with the Criterion Reference Test. Now, that gives you an opportunity to get an additional diagnostic prescriptive information. Failure-free reading uses a 3-step instructional approach. It's a blended learning approach, what I call the three T's to success: teaching, technology, and text. Everything starts with guided instructional material. Very easy to use, scripted so that you don't have to create. All you have to do is grab and take. The teacher scripted lessons use direct instructional methods designed to increase vocabulary exposure, enhance background knowledge, and improve reading volume rate. The instruction is based on the notion of previewing, listening, presenting, reading, and reviewing. So you give them an overview in the preview, you set the stage, then they listen to you model good oral reading. Then you go over a series of questions where you use factual questions and inferential questions. And by the way, everything is spelled out for you in the guided instructions, so you don't have to do anything. Then again, it's their turn to read aloud to you, and then you review it. Now, this is only the first part of the process. The second part then goes into the talking software, and then the third part goes into the reinforcement activities. So don't panic if they can't read it back the first time. It's just to give them an opportunity to experience what it feels like to read with success under your guidance and your direction. Again, teaching technology text. Then they go to the software. Everything on this software is identical to what they've just gone over with you. That's one of the reasons why we put them at frustration level. When students are at a point where they can't do it independently or instructionally, this abundant amount of repetition, this multiple exposures and multiple contexts is not boring. It is the mother of learning, and that's why they have so much abundant practice. They need the practice to be successful. They need 35 to 60 to 70 repetitions before they can start to independently recognize the words in this story. So don't panic, takes time, moves quickly. Then again, to start the lesson, you would click Launch Lesson. There are 4 parts to it: pre-teaching, talking book, reinforcement, daily review. And when they're done, they go into the paper and pencil reinforcement activities. So Failure Free is a non-phonic first visual approach that is multisensory based on MEMC, multiple exposures and multiple contexts. It's also multisensory, so they see it, they hear it, they say it, and then they go into the writing component. So in the writing, there are always, at the end of every lesson, there are always 8 different worksheets that are available. The worksheets do not vary. So once they learn these sheets, they'll do it for every lesson. They know what's expected, and it increases their independence. So there's words, there's phrases, they're alphabetical order, scrambled sentence, sentence illustration, word search, and short answer. Again, you find that in the electronic library. You can download it, you can print it. So here's a one-word modified close, then here are phrase modified close, alphabetical order, unscrambled sentence. This is higher order thinking skill, also shows the importance of syntax. This is very Common Core friendly. Then they do a matching, then they do a word illustration, then they do a word search, and then they do short answer. When they're done, they can then print the page that they've just read in their book, and at the end they can read the entire book themselves. Very, very exciting for students who have never read, and that in 2 weeks you'll be able to give them their first book or even more. And then you have the ability to document growth. Again, you go to Teacher Tools, you go to Build Report. These are all of the different reporting features that you have. You have pre-test and post-test growth for the story. You're able to measure and show story growth on a daily basis. Every lesson, online lesson, consists of 3 comprehension questions, 10 word recognition activities, and 12 reinforcement activities for a total of 25. You'll know how many of these 25 activities they've done on a daily basis. The program will actually graph it out and chart it for you. So there you have it. Very easy to use, very, very straightforward. We're a non-phonic first approach for those kids that are stuck at skills, abundant repetition. We put things in the most meaningful context